Need a list. I mean, probably people that throw R's in it. Mangarello. It's always the J. Oh, Joe Manganiello. Mangagello or Mangello or... It was like, you missed like 10 letters, bro. Just brutal. It'll never stop. It's Manganello. Hi, I'm Joe Manganiello. I'm Joe Manganiello. I'm Joe Manganiello, the director of LeBear. And thank you, Joe Manganiello, the Joe Manganiello, Joe Manganiello, the director of... I forgot which one I was going to do there. Hi.
Hey everybody, Joe Manganiello coming to you from the E. Gary Gygax Memorial Dungeon in Beverly Hills. And I wanted to take some time to sincerely apologize to all of you who signed up for the Hasbro PulseCon relaunch of HeroQuest, who signed up specifically to get my content, my 10 Adventure Quest book, along with proprietary miniature, proprietary game titles. I spent so long and hard days working on this quest book for you. It broke my heart to think that we wouldn't be able to launch it and send it out to everyone who was an all-in backer. So I called my friends at Hasbro, and they know how hard I worked on it. And they know how many of you were so excited about the relaunch and specifically getting my quest book. So Hasbro's come around, and they've agreed to give everyone who signed up for the all-in everything, including Keller's Keep, the Return of the Witch Lord. You're gonna get the big original HeroQuest box, and on top of that, you're going to get the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, my 10 Quest adventure book. Yeah, complete with proprietary tiles, Dragon's Lair. Every great adventure starts in a tavern. You're gonna get some acid splashes, grasping vines, smoking skulls. And then you're also, of course, going to get the proprietary boss miniature, Venom, the Black Dragon, that I worked on designing with famed comic book artist Max Dunbar. You're gonna get it all. So thank you, Hasbro, and enjoy.
RantCast! All right. Welcome to the RantCastPodcast, episode 70. Hey, Bohemius. Hey, Rob Champ. Hey, Joe. Volume is too low? Joe was a little quiet. Well, he was saying proprietary. He said proprietary many times. We'll work on that. So this is episode 70, Joe's Revenge. And yes, that footage is from X, formerly known as Twitter, back then. And the first video we played actually was from YouTube there. Joe Manganiello video where he's talking about his movie there. And we've got some things to talk about tonight. It's going to be a shorter show, though. Just because Strange Bus isn't with us, he sends his regrets. He's been having some hardware issues. And so, yeah, just can't make it. Sorry. But yeah, we'll be talking about this news here. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the latest HeroQuest news, which happened a few days ago. So we're just now getting caught up on it. But since I have no co-host, I mean, if somebody does want to join me in the HeroQuest fans Discord Quest Talk, that'd be fine. But if you don't, that's okay. Like I said, we're just going to have a shorter show. We'll just talk about the news. Rob says 2025 going to be a good year for HeroQuest. I believe it. I believe it. If you didn't believe it before, believe it now. Okay, there he is. There's the guy. So a lot of people didn't know who Joe Manganiello was. I mean, you can look up his IMDb profile if you want. I mean, he was in Spider-Man. He was Flash Thompson, you know. I wouldn't want to fight me either. He was in Magic Mike. He was in True Blood. But the real reason why he had something to do with the HeroQuest Hasbro Pulse crowdfunding campaign to bring HeroQuest back in 2020, the reason was because he was associated with the D&D scene. He was connected with Critical Role. I've never seen Critical Role. Maybe I've seen a few minutes of it. I mean, everybody thinks of Matt Mercer was the guy, but Joe Manganiello, see, I get it wrong. He was somehow connected with that show. I don't know if he was on the show or if he was just friends with people who were on the show, but there's a lot of like D&D related stuff. I guess he goes to conventions, kind of like how Henry Cavill is connected with Warhammer 40,000. Like he's a big fan. So Joe's a big fan of D&D. So why HeroQuest? Well, they apparently thought, hey, we'll get some celebrity who's like into tabletop role playing games to write some quests for us. They got Teo Sabadia, who was also a well, he was actually a D&D like quest writer. He was already somebody who worked for Hasbro doing that. And then of course they got Stephen Baker, the OG, to come back. And even though Stephen Baker was writing quests for HeroQuest, he hadn't done it for 30 years, and he wasn't doing it under the rules that he worked with, but with the North American rules. Still, it was kind of like, okay, you got these two outsiders or amateurs compared to the OG. They're never going to be as good, right? At the same time, the thing was they had the campaign, they raised the funds, they had all the stretch goals, and they didn't quite reach the last two. The last two were the alternate gargoyle. They had kind of the bat face and the no weapons, just the claws and everything. And then they had Joe Manganiello's pack, which was a proprietary dragon. He said, proprietary tiles, proprietary everything. Well, anyway, for a long time, Carmine, Chris Nato, project leader at Avalon Hills HeroQuest, who's no longer with the company, unfortunately. Cool guy. He was a cool guy to talk to. He works for Topps now. But anyway, he had talked about how, well, they would like to release all of the HasLab exclusive stuff into retail. So the big thing was get it out into retail, but it took a lot of time. So Spirit Queen's Torment finally came out. Prophecy of Telor finally came out. But it was always like this Joe-shaped door, this Joe-shaped hole in the completeness of it all. If you wanted his stuff and you missed the campaign, FOMO has triumphed. You have to go on eBay and, pay somebody some exorbitant fee to get this pack. And then you get it and you realize, gee, it's full of like errors and it's kind of an amateur kind of pack. And it's like, I mean, bless him, he did what he could, but this would make, I mean, my impression was this would make a much better D&D campaign than a HeroQuest campaign. It looks more like something we could have done back in the day. I mean, no offense, sorry. At the same time, you could say, hey, this guy brought his celebrity to the table. He got more people to notice it than would have otherwise. So he did a great thing, and they didn't meet his stretch goal, but he convinced them to do it anyway. And the thought was, we don't know what the deal was, but he made some kind of deal with Hasbro so that they would release it anyway, which was cool. So people who pledged got more content than they would have otherwise, which was great. And even though Carmine didn't get to see it when he was part of the company, at least that sort of desire to release it. Because he started out very positive, like, well, we just have to wait till see what Joe says. And then it was kind of like he started basically just kind of preparing people like, oh, it's probably not going to happen. It was exclusive and all this stuff. So for whatever reason, he bounced back, decided no, and now we've, no, it's not going to remain proprietary. And now we've finally had confirmation that yes, it really is coming out. Even though our group has already played it, I'm still excited, especially for the fact that people who couldn't get it, who wanted it, will be able to buy it at a reasonable price. It'll be its own box. So right there, you see the picture coming this fall. The thing that's different is that image, the cover screen, the screenshot of it. It says his name prominently at the top. The dragon looks the same. As far as I can tell, it looks the same. So he called it a black dragon. In the picture, it's green. The miniature was gray originally. But yeah, this is the news. So lots of people have promoted this, posted it, Facebook. This all came out of the Bologna play. It used to be Modena play. It's Bologna play now from Italy, and they had the exclusive. So we know that it's coming out in fall. The date, the actual date was August. So before that, we had heard July. I think that was coming out of the store postings. So for a while now, we've been seeing these like storefront postings, and those have never been wrong. Like they've always been Like whenever they show a HeroQuest product, it's always ended up coming out. Even if Hasbro was, tight-lipped, Avalon Hill said nothing about it, refused to answer questions, it's like clearly they sent it to a store. Why would a store lie? They wouldn't make it up and damage their reputation by advertising a product that, Hasbro is never going to make, never going to sell. So it was, to me, it was a foregone conclusion. Okay, Crypt of Perpetual Darkness is coming to retail. It's going to be a smaller box because price-wise, they were showing the price, a smaller price than Wizards of Morcar, a bigger price, which we also presumed was coming out. I mean, when Carmine talked about it, it was like, well, if we were to release it, it's like, why would he say that if there was no chance? So anyway, I feel like I was going to say promises made, promises fulfilled, but they weren't really promises. They were more like teases. But anyway, these are the details. So it's coming out, coming this fall. Oh, and we got some comments, guys. Yeah, so I was saying proprietary no more. Not now, but Joe was. Only the video. Oh, we're talking about quietness. Yeah, 2024 was better. 2023, sorry. Well, we've definitely had some big years of HeroQuest. And everybody is kind of like steeling themselves for the end. It's like, oh man, there's going to be no more good stuff after this. It's all going to be over. Well, who's to say, right? So let's at least bask in the glory of this news for a little while at least. That's what we came for. So we've got our title, Joe's Revenge. Let's just take a look. And yes, this is my reporting, but I mean, I got this from other people. So Ribby posted this, Bohemius, Chevy Guy 5196, Big Spender. Images came from Facebook and Instagram. Bologna Play. So this is a picture. This was I guess this is a poster standee kind of thing that they've got going at this convention, which is over now. But I mean, it was basically last weekend that they had this in Italy, and people have analyzed that text and looked at it. So the other pictures that we've seen give the impression. So there's a little bit of blue there. The impression it's given is okay. There's a green border to the box, but the box itself has a holographic like finish to it, just like the Spirit Queen's Torment release into retail, just like the Prophecy of Teller release into retail. So it doesn't have an actual hologram image. It's just that kind of foil, rainbow color, silvery finish to the box, kind of a shiny layer in there. So some of the things they've talked about, they said that the cards are going to be foil. So there's foil versions of the cards, which I always heard that. I mean, I never collected Pokemon or anything like that, Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever, Magic the Gathering, but foil cards were always a big deal. Like, oh, you got a foil card, you got, it's amazing. But I've also heard that the foil tends to like curl over time. So you need something to like press them down. So I don't know if that'll be an issue with these cards, but I mean, that was like in the 90s. So I don't know if the technology is any different now for the process. But I mean, the cards would look cool, I suppose. They'd be harder to scan too if you were trying to copy them. But yeah, kind of giving it a deluxe idea. Also, the dragon, they said, is going to be black metallic plastic this time. So I think black metallic is cooler than gray. And I suppose the metallic idea is, so the problem I have with black miniatures, I love black miniatures. They look so cool. But the problem is, especially if like you photograph them, unless you've got like the light hitting it at every angle, the detail is gone. It's just a shadow. It's just a blob on the camera. So you either got to have really good lighting, or you got to have something else. So maybe it's not pure black, it's like dark gray, or it's got other colors in it. But yeah, maybe a shiny metallic finish would give it a really cool, presentation. I'm kind of imagining the sorts of plastics that they used either for the First Light Dragon, which was kind of a steel gray, or like the red plastic miniatures that were in Prophecy of Teller, Spirit Queen's Torment. Like the Bard was like silvery red instead of just red. So kind of like a little aluminum dust sprinkled in with the red plastic. I don't know the process, but I'm just guessing. So something like that. We haven't seen any pictures of it yet, but I noticed the artwork hasn't changed. So once again, I'm wondering, okay, is it going to be this flat base? I mean, this single round base, which is kind of top heavy. Are we going to need Ribby's Remarkable Rims to, have the two-part base so that it doesn't fall over? You might have to print up some more of those. One speculation was, well, maybe they'll alter the miniature somehow. Maybe they'll alter the base to make it like a 2-square monster. I guess they could do that. They can make the pillar like just wider at the base. They could put like stones, or even like that bootleg copy, they could put skulls around it or something. Or maybe the dragon's tail would kind of like coil around it in such a way that it would sort of form another base. Or maybe it'll just be exactly the way it is. I mean, I sort of think to myself, what they're trying to do is give the people what they want, right? People wanted this, they didn't get it, and so now here's another chance for them to get it. And if only the color is different, so what, right? If you paint it, it's going to be the same, but now you can get it for a reasonable price. So I'm happy for people because of that, even if nothing else is changed, even if all they do is fix the typos in the booklet and just leave it at that, no new content of any kind. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, my speculation was, okay, if they're using the metallic black for the dragon, does that mean the other miniatures are going to be that color as well? Because that was kind of, they had a theme going with each of these previous packs. Stephen Baker's Prophecy of Telor had translucent orange. So you had like fiery monsters, and you had fiery dice. And then Teo Sabadia's Spirit Queen's Torment, it was kind of like a ghostly green, or like acid green. And so the dice were that color. So are we going to get shiny black metallic dice? I mean, those would be pretty cool. Like, what would the images, the skulls and shields be painted? Would they be silver? Would they be white? I mean, I'm sort of thinking of the power dice, the black dice that have more skulls on them. But I don't know. It's just speculation. We don't know yet what they actually look like. And I should be looking at the chat here. I'm hoping black or gray dice. Yeah, I mean, there's so many possibilities. What if the dice were made of metal? Well, probably not, because that would affect the price. I mean, we're thinking this is probably a $33.99 box. Now, people have talked about, okay, don't want to bring politics into it, but what about tariffs? Aren't the tariffs going to raise the prices? Well, maybe, maybe not. But I mean, if it's $35, is anybody going to pass out and not buy it? No, probably not. It's probably going to be just fine. So we'll see. But there's a lot of discussion on the HeroQuest fans Discord and on Yield In about, and probably other places too, about what will be in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? So Hispazargon had a nice series of images, which I will get to, speculating on about, if we rearrange the stuff, how is it going to fit? Jacer says, I'm hoping there's a nothing card to go with all the empty chests. Well, that's the thing. If it follows the pattern of the previous updates that Avalon Hill has done, all those chests are going to have things in them, right? However, those of you who have played with me know that actually when it says the chest is empty, the chest is empty. So that's kind of an intentional thing. So I don't think that'll be changed. But yeah, a nothing card would be hilarious. And yes, there have been some spoof cards out there. I may or may not have created some of them where it shows the character shrugging, the Gary Chalk art from the original game, but it's Joe Manganiello. Manganiello. Why can't I say his name for some reason? I'm thinking of all the mispronunciation. It's him shrugging, because there's a meme of him shrugging his shoulders. So it's like for nothing. Nothing. All right, let's continue to look at these pictures here. Okay, yes. So this is from, I believe this is Instagram, which I don't have Instagram, so thank you for the people who shared this. Avalon Hill Games announced today at Play Festival del Gioco. The team at Avalon Hill is thrilled to announce, this is quotation, is thrilled to announce the August release of a premium version of the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. Now, when they use this terminology premium, I'm like, does this mean like limited release? They're not saying limited edition. So I hope this just means a fancy edition because, the other two Mythic releases that went into retail were just regular products. They weren't limited edition, they weren't limited run, they weren't exclusive, they weren't proprietary. The whole point is so that anybody can buy it, right? It's not a premium product. And yet they're calling this premium version. So anyway, I hope it's just they just mean in terms of quality. A premium version of the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. This quest pack, previously only available to crowdfunders who supported HeroQuest's relaunch, features quests designed by actor and game designer Joe Manganiello and calls on you, Joe Manganiello, calls on you to save your homeland from the forces of dread. Venture into an ancient tomb to obtain a powerful artifact and work together to keep the valuable treasure out of Zargon's clutches. Okay, doesn't sound like anything's changed. Already own Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, an added metallic black dragon miniature, and foil embellished cards featuring chilling illustrations elevate this expansion, making it a must-have for collectors. Well, I wonder, does that mean all the cards in the box are going to be foil embellished or just some of them? Because really, the only unique items in this one were the two artifacts. And I guess it's a minor spoiler, the Crown of Shadows and the Dragon Spear, which are not part of any of the other boxes. All the other stuff is basically just a blend of things from Keller's Keep, Return of the Witch Lord. Making a must-have for collectors. Cover art is out now. More details coming soon. From Joe. So coming soon from Joe. So that was 3 days ago. I don't think anybody has mentioned anything that we've seen from him yet. But if anybody wants to check him out, Joe Manganiello on Instagram or X or wherever he is these days, we can see what he says. So I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen new videos from Always Bored, Never Boring, Mr. Death Vids, or AshQuest. I know AshQuest did have his, or Amalgam Ash had his broadcast. Right, it's great. Where he was just speculating on, what we would see. So, like all predictions, he puts it out there and just sees, what actually happens. So, I think we have a pretty good sense of what this is going to be. This is going to be like the other two releases. The only question is, what are they going to fill the space with? Is it going to be more of the same, or is there going to be more things? I'm hoping that they take advantage of the fact that this would be like the last one. Like, are they going to release another Mythic box after this? There were 3 quest books, right? So they've done 2 of them, and there's 1 left. So they could cram everything else in there, and whatever they don't put in there, I guess just stays proprietary forever. But I feel like this was the holy grail of the Mythic stuff. So once they put this out there, there's no point in holding anything else back. Like, why? If this is okay, then go for it. Now, there was a minor bit of news here. Dungeon Master, I got to mention him. He posted something which was posted by the HeroQuest Italia guys, the Grog guys, which was this little tiny box that says HeroQuest First Light on it. It's like somebody made like a joke box, and it's just big enough for 1 miniature. And you can click and watch the video, the unboxing at HeroQuest Italia, and all it is it's the Dread Sorcerer that's in the modern HeroQuest game system box. So just the same exact plastic sculpt, except it's in kind of a dark green color. Now the guys in the video, I listened to I watched the subtitles, the auto translate subtitles, and they say, well, it's a slightly different shade of green than the orcs, but it's just the same model. And apparently this was some kind of giveaway. So this was, or like a special gift for people that were there at the convention. So we're probably not going to see this, but it's just, 1 more color sorcerer. So why they associated it with First Light, I'm not sure. I guess you buy First Light and it's like, oh, guess what? Did you know that there's plastic miniatures of like all these cardboard monsters that you could buy? Kind of starting people off on their on their way, saying like, okay, we've got the plastic sorcerer that you can use for the boss. What's next? I need that mic and the box. All right, I'll show a little bit of the video here. So this is HeroQuest Italia. Yeah, these guys are having a great time. Okay, he spends lots of time talking about it. Little minor spoilers.
We open when we arrive to 30 person in live, online. Inquiring minds want to know. Yes, we know. Matteo is an actor.
For this box.
Spectator. How many spectator we have?
Oh, yes. They know how to draw it out. Okay. All right, guys.
21.
Bene, apro io?
Ok, prendi un coltello, dai.
No, che coltello?
Tagliato. Sì,
Tiriamo solo fuori, poi lui la
sì,
scatola.
sì. Una caramella.
Aspetta.
Gotta love it. Come on.
C'è
What is it?
Vabbè, le informazioni... La garanzia, se si dovesse rompere c'è la garanzia. No, ok.
The warranty.
Poi
So,
What is it?
like, place the plastic on the board.
sì.
Done. The end.
What is it?
Allora, c'è scritto, se apri questa scatola, Zargon ti apparirà in dormire.
Ragazzi,
All right.
inquadratemi un attimo. Ok, vedete?
The sun is going to come up and turn these guys to stone before they get
Sicuramente è
to
una
it.
miniatura, c'è la basetta.
I like the shirt.
Vedo la...
Cioè, non si legge
Yeah,
più
there's
niente.
secret codes on the bottom.
Siamo saliti a 22. Dai.
All right, there it is.
Ok,
Boom.
29 ragazzi, siamo quasi arrivati a
Good work.
famosi 30.
Green, sì, green, ho capito, ma
Is dark green.
dark green, yes. Ah, quindi
Green
è
Dread
lo
Sorcerer.
stregone, è lo stregone che si trasforma allora.
Green
Yes,
Dead
is,
Red Sorcerer.
maybe
There
it's,
you go.
Quindrak.
So yeah, speculate all you want. I don't think that that's a. I think this is a promo item. I don't think this is going to the mainstream. But would that be in the box? I mean, it says First Light, so not Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. Comments. So Jacer says, "Oh yeah, the nothing card. That way, and then when the second, fourth hero search the empty chest, they can get nothing too. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's like every time you search, you just get nothing, but you get a card, and it's nothing. I would like to see the nothing card come back. That would be great. That would be fun. All right, so we've got more stuff to look at here. So LaGuardia de Marcar, Cristobal, he showed a nice picture of the Joe Manganiello the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness quest pack. So again, you can kind of see the traces of holographic film over the image. You know, you see on the wings, you see on the dragon's head. So I think it's pretty easy to say that yeah, they intend us to understand that this is more of the same, of that holographic stuff. And let's see, we have also some articles. Now, I hate looking at news articles these days because it feels like half of them are just AI generated. Like it's the same text, it's the same like stock phrases, and it's like, what is even the point? But let's just take a look at a few of these articles. Okay, so we got this one. These are translated. These are machine translated, so there could be mistakes. But it's gamelegends.it, so it's an Italian site. This morning at Play, because Play is the name of the Festival del Gioco, the largest board game fair, the premium version of La Crypta of Perpetua Darkness was unveiled, an expansion designed by Joe Manganiello. The new quest pack will be available worldwide from August. Specifically, this announcement came from the Hasbro stand, where the Avalon Hill team announced the aforementioned expansions signed by actor and game designer Joe Manganiello, best known for playing Deathstroke. Oh yeah, in Justice League. I forgot about that. Flash Thompson in Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3. and Brillion Richie and Magic Mike XXL. Okay, listen. If you're under a certain age, don't look that up, okay? This expansion so far has only been available to crowdfunders who have supported the re-release of the game. In a few months, however, the quest pack will be available to players around the world. Okay, great. This new version of the quest pack introduces different content, such as a metal miniature of the Black Dragon. Well, that's probably a translation issue. They said metallic, not metal. An actual metal dragon, it would probably like greatly increase the price. But anyway, laminated cards and an unprecedented adventure in which players will have to explore an ancient tomb to recover a magical artifact, all defending their homeland from the clutches of Sargon. Okay, another translation issue there. The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness Premium Edition will be compatible with HeroQuest and HeroQuest First Light. Obviously, in order to play the aforementioned expansion, you need to be in possession of the main game system. Okay, so that was by Paolo Sacuzo. All right. And then another article here. This is from theboardgame.fr. So we got a French site here. HeroQuest the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness in Olderness included actor design quests. Well, okay, some translation issues there. Sorry. Editor's message. The Avalon Hill team is pleased to announce the release in August of a premium version of the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. This quest pack, previously available only to players who supported the HeroQuest campaign, features quests designed by the actor and game designer, and Joe Manganiello asks you to save your homeland from the strengths of the dread. Advent yourself into an ancient grave to get a powerful... Okay, this is just the same text. It's just more layers of lost in translation. So anyway, but there's his smiling face, ready to go with his expansion. Okay, and here's the one. I feel like this was like copied and pasted everywhere. This is Danielle's Citerio on PlayStationBit.com. Since its return to the shelves in the new Italian edition, HeroQuest has re-emerged the memories of many fans who in the 80s and 90s have spent hours in the company of one of the milestones of the dungeon crawlers, living incredible adventures between mysterious lands, monster spells, and fearless heroes. The new design and the renewed gameplay have been able to make one of the cornerstones of the genre current, keeping intact the charm and characteristics of the original edition. On the occasion of Play Festival del Gioco at the Hasbro stand, the Avalon Hill team this morning announced with great emotion a juicy novelty, a premium version of La Crypta of the Perpetual Darkness, the legendary expansion signed by actor and game designer. I was got to point out that he is a game designer, Joe Manganiello, which so far has only been available for crowdfunders who have supported the re-edition of the game. Finally, this fabulous quest pack will be available to players from around the world starting in August, giving a legendary adventure. For the most passionate players, Joe Manganiello has decided to create an even more sumptuous premium version, adding a miniature metal black dragon and beautiful laminated papers with chilling illustrations, a must-have for every collector. Players will have to carry out a mission of primary importance to save your homeland from the forces of terror. They will then have to gather all the courage to explore an ancient tomb and recover it. Yeah, there's nothing new here. Okay, so it's the same stuff. Yeah, laminated, guys. Yeah, it's a cool looking dragon. So in the first proprietary video there, Joe talked about how he worked with Max Dunbar to create it. And I mean, you think, well, yeah, Joe's a designer, but he's really, I mean, did he just say, okay, it's got to have big wings? And the guy's like drawing it. Okay, it's got to have like more teeth, scarier. Make it crouch on a pillar, you know. So I don't know if that's really how they did it or if, you know, he has some artistic ability himself. But yeah, Max Dunbar is a name we've heard before. He's done a lot of this artwork for the new HeroQuest. So the original, it was Gary Chalk and Les Edwards were the primary artists. And I miss their stuff, but they definitely tried to sort of imitate the style, but still have their own like new style. It's a cool looking monster. The problem I have with it is it's top heavy. It tips over. You know, this big, huge dragon, and it falls down. So you need something to support the base a little better. All right, so we got that image. Can you go even bigger? There's no secrets. I mean, we've basically seen all this before. This is the same image. It's just cropped differently that was shown on the Mythic box. So the dragon was green back there as well. And then the quest booklet had the same image. So that's that. All right, let's take another look here. Okay, I was hoping. Oh yeah, UK Games Expo comes up May 30th. So I think that's the next big game convention. So if there's going to be more announcements, it'd be here. Gen Con, of course, I'm going. That's July 31st. And in between there, I think Luca. I want to say it's in June. I could be wrong about that. Like late June, or is it? I forget if it's before Gen Con or after Gen Con, but somebody can correct me on that. So I'm going over to Yield In and going to the forums because we had a lot of posts here. So this is Hispazargon's thread. Well, it's not his thread, but I mean, it's his series of posts. So credit to him. This was April 6th. And we have what heroes were included. Oh, yeah, they didn't say. So that's the speculation. Oh, yes. Bohemius. Yes, you're right. I forgot. Always Halloween. So October. So yeah, it's way after Gen Con. So UK Games Expo and then Gen Con and then Luca. So Luca is kind of like the last chance for them to reveal something this year. So if they're going to tell us about Wizards of Morcar and they haven't done so by the time of Gen Con. Oh, Spiel Essen. I forgot about Spiel Essen. Okay, guys. Okay, so Bohemius, help me out here. What's the order? So UK Games Expo, May. Spiel Essen before Gen Con in July. Then Luca.
Can I tell you?
Oh, there he is. Hey, welcome.
So, we got before was Modena, and Modena was in May, so they moved it in April. Bologna. So in June, the beginning of June and the end of May, we got the UK Expo, 30 May, May 30th. Then in July, we got the HQ Day. So we have
HeroQuest.
they did the day, not okay, but they celebrated only 1 year when they released the Rise of the Red Moon. Then we have August, Gen Con.
Yep.
September we got PulseCon. We never get anything.
No.
Apart some
PulseCon.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have Spiel Essen in the 3 to 6 October, and November at the end for Halloween we got Luca.
Okay. So Luca is like our last chance for the year. I mean,
yeah, it's the last chance. They always show stuff that is coming the next year.
Yeah.
Normally in Luca.
I mean, at the same time, they can always just announce something whenever they want, but it seems like they have definitely chosen to use these big game conventions as their opportunity to announce or show or sell the latest thing. So that's kind of what we're assuming they're going to continue to do. And yeah, PulseCon, they talk about everything but HeroQuest, it seems like. So, but I mean, occasionally they drop like little, like a one sentence or, a one picture or something like that. But yeah, it's usually nothing big. It's we gotta wait. So I'm just imagining I walk into Gen Con and they're playing Joe's Quests. And it would be nice if there was something else besides that, but we'll just have to see. But there's plenty of time. So yeah, but definitely thank you, Bohemius. So for this thread, so Hisbazargon is saying, I was yesterday thinking about what could finally contain the retail version of COPD. Of course, there are many possible configurations, and then he gives some suggestions here. So, okay, so we've got the quest book with 10 quests in it, so it's pretty small. Like most of the expansions are 10 quests. A dragon miniature that's fairly large. I mean, it's not as big as the Frozen Horror miniature, but it's fairly large. You got the crypt or tavern tile, and he's pointing out that's 9 by 6 squares. It's pretty large. Not as big as the arena for against the Ogre Horde. There's the 12 acid pool trap tiles, which are 1 by 1 square each, or 1 by 1 inch, I should say. 3 grasping vine traps. He points out that it contains 6 in the original box, but only 3 are actually called for in any of the quests. Okay, then these dread skull tiles, the smoking skulls or flaming skulls. There were 6 of them in there, but only 2 were actually needed at a time. There's the artifact card for the Dragon Spear, the other card for the Crown of Shadows. There was no Lightning Bolt spell scroll card, but it was called for, just like Prophecy of Telor, and we eventually got that card. And then the spell scroll for Tempest. And then he goes on to say, additionally, as far as we know, there's these extra elements which were borrowed from Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord. So you got 2 skeleton miniatures, because normally you only have 4 skeletons. I guess there's some instances where you'd have 6 at a time. A cliff corridor, which is 8 by 1 tile. 1 short stairway, 5 by 1. 1 short stairway that's 3 by 1. 3 pit trap tiles, so I guess it'd be in addition to the ones that normally come with the game system. An extra secret door tile, an equipment card for the potion of restoration. So this would be from the alchemist shop. Equipment card for potion of dexterity, potion of battle, venom antidote. An artifact card for the magical throwing dagger. I can't quite remember if you found 1 or if you found 2. It's been a while. Maybe I'm thinking of Keller's Keep Return of the Witch Lord. Like, you always find 2. You never just find 1. But, I mean, we played through it. I'm just forgetting. Do you remember Bohemius? Because I did change a few things, but most of it I kept the same.
I don't know. I think we find only 1.
Only 1. Because they're pretty powerful. I mean, they do basically 1 automatic damage. And then there is this instance in the booklet where you're expected to draw a random spell scroll, which doesn't make a lot of sense if you only use the ones that are in the box, because it's like, okay, so you've got 2, it's either one or the other, right? So you're expected to kind of, mix them all together and you have a big pile. So anyway, he goes on, and here are his sort of theorized images of what you could imagine just visually. Okay, so you've got this huge tile, but look at all the wasted space on it. There's a lot of like gaps and stuff, and there's repeated. I mean, these tiles are the same image on both sides. Like, you could really consolidate these if you wanted to. I mean, the temple or the tavern is going to be what it is, but why do you need this extra part to punch out? Like, you could just get rid of that and just set it in the box as the way it is. Again, we're assuming that this is the same size box as Keller's Keep Return of the Witch Lord. It wouldn't have to be. They can make the box like, a half an inch wider or something, just so it would fit exactly the way they want it. But they could also just punch out the excess and just let it be in there. Just going on, because what else are we going to do with our time while we wait?
They cannot touch the size of the box. There will be a huge retaliation from collectors. They like everything neat and precise.
Yeah. Well, it's like they made the dice a different size. Like the mythic combat dice are bigger.
We're not talking about the box.
The box on the shelf.
The is on the shelf need to be perfect.
Take it out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to you put them all in collector cases. The collector cases are the same size. That's how you do it. Same.
The box is already green, so it's an eyesore because all the other boxes are black. So
No, but this is special. This
I'm
is
going.
the
We're going to see. Yeah, we're going to see people complaining about that.
paint the box. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
box. You notice the box. The box is green. The
yep.
similar to uh, the Return of the Wheat Lord.
Right. Well, so here he's kind of speculating like how it could fit. Like, well, maybe it would be like this or like
Yeah,
that or
yeah. The only way to make them fit is to take away the cardboard around. So I really don't know. They will redesign the part with the tokens, but the tavern is too big,
yeah.
and
It
they need to put it without the
it
already unpunched.
it seems like the tiles are the easiest thing to work around. It's funny to read the draft notes from 1992. I always come back to that with the Lost Quest packs because they're saying, well, whoever it is, Mike Gray or whoever, is saying like, hey, be careful when you design your tiles. Make sure you have like lots of like bleed area because the machines at Milton Bradley aren't very precise and they're going to cut stuff off. And we've actually seen that in classic HeroQuest sets. You can see like the stuff is off center, like with the cards of the tiles. I mean, nobody cares, but yeah, it. I'm sure the quality has improved since then. Now, of course, with the tiles, it's like it's just a file, right? So you could throw it on anything. The hard part is these miniatures because if you want to change the miniature, you have to change the mold. You can't just change the 3D model. So it's probably much more expensive for them to change the dragon versus yeah, they want to change how the tiles look or how the tiles are shaped or even how the box is shaped. But yeah, I mean this would obviously not happen. They wouldn't just drop the box in because this box has 5 miniatures inside it and a bunch of cards. But you take away the box, you take away the candy tray. That's the other thing. The candy trays that we've seen, I mean, we saw how big they were in the Mythic box, right? Or the 2021 version. And then you go to the 2022 version and everything is like shrunk down. And really they wouldn't have to have the candy trays at all, but I understand why they have them because it keeps the stuff from bouncing around and like scraping against. I mean, all these swords are going to be like, shredding the paper inside the box, scratching the tiles, you know, moving around too much. So if you secure them, but you could just put them in bags. You could just pack foam around them. I mean, there's a lot of other ways to do it. The originals, you didn't have to worry about that because they were on sprues, and you cut them out and you threw the excess away. But his point is, yeah, you could put the 5 miniatures and the dragon and the dice comfortably, easily. Here's an example. You just put one of each monster. Why not? You could do that easily enough because we're assuming if these other monsters are included, they're going to be once again, the stretch goal sculpts, just like in the other two boxes. Why create something totally new when you can just recycle it? And they don't necessarily know if people have already bought the other collector boxes, but the other retail versions. So to them, these would be brand new. And if they just make it a different color, it's still, something unique. Or here they include the heroes, like right. You've got the male elf and then the female dwarf, barbarian, and wizard, which would be really cool to see. Where's the Witch Lord? Where's Sir Ragnar? Where's Mentor? But yeah, you could just throw in the skeletons. Like you could just have something very minimal like this. So, I mean, these are all valid speculations here. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we've seen any new things, so I guess I'll ask our guests if they want to chime in. Do you think Joe will actually show up at one of these conventions and say anything about his contribution? What do you think will be in the box?
No, I had a list. I already made my list.
Oh, yeah.
I
Good question.
posted yesterday. Well, let me check.
Nice. Well, maybe it'll just be a cardboard standee of Joe smiling, and His
Yeah.
hand
No,
will
well,
be
well, there's.
on a
Mm,
little crane that goes up and down, and it'll just say, "Buy my expansion. Buy my expansion. Buy my expansion."
yeah. I believe they're going to release soon. So when they say soon, I don't like when they say soon because could be now, could be 2 months.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, if it's August and then
So,
people get it early in
but,
July, I mean,
but it's possible that he's going to release like another video
oh,
in
his
the mythic style.
update.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe through social media or whatever.
More
They
updates on
could,
Joe coming.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, but my idea on the content of the box is very similar to the one of Ispa's Argon.
Hmm.
What I'm saying is they cannot skip even if nobody likes that, they cannot skip the mythic druid,
The
the,
Mythic
the
Druid.
miniature the
Yeah,
miniature for the mythic druid.
that would be the last one. Um, yeah, just to include it and say, okay, now it's everything is released.
Yes.
Release all the files. Here they are. This is
Uh,
Dungeon Master. I'm just playing it with the translated subtitles. So if you speak German, definitely check him out. His comments there on YouTube. But yeah, go ahead. What's your others? So your speculation is similar to his Bazargon there.
yeah, my speculation is that possibly it's possible that they're going to like since because in the announcement they say Joe is doing modification to this new box. It's not just a new box. It's not just a premium. He actually did some modification, so it's possible they're going to release different tiles. Okay,
So you think he's adding more
so
content to it?
take away the stuff from the other expansions. Okay, they are not proprietary of the expansion itself. So
Mhm.
away stuff from Killer's Keep, from Return of the Witch Lord, and just put stuff that is designed in purpose for this quest.
That
And
that would be neat to dress it up without it feeling like
yes,
cobbled together. I mean, I don't have a problem with it
hmm
reusing assets. I think that was kind of a cool thing, but yeah, it's like they would never insist, well, except for Mage of the Mirror
yep,
maybe, that you own two expansions to make one expansion. So something tailor made for this would be really cool.
yes.
And it wouldn't cost them anything in the sense that it's just an image, it's just a tile.
But it's just cardboard
Yeah,
is a minor production problem for cardboard tiles.
yeah,
So
minimal.
another thing for the druid to adjust the druid because many people are not going to be happy with the druid because it's already been out in another,
Hmm.
or put completely on a new hero,
Hmm.
or the druid or a new hero. These are the two options.
Or
They,
what
they, they
if
cannot do it because
this is a crazy idea and I have nothing to back it up, but what if they used the miniature and just designed a completely different hero around it?
is what I actually put in my list. Okay, for
Oh,
me,
you
it's
thought of it
possible
for
they're
me.
going to do the druid.
Mhm.
They're going to put the miniature of the druid, but with alternative spells.
Okay. Yeah, so the
So in a way, the can play in a different way. So you have to have both expansion if you want to play them. You play the druid in in two different ways, and I think it
maybe
could be
be like
interesting.
instead of the druid, it's the nymph or the I don't know, the forest
Or
Amazon or something.
imagine a druid with a different transformation,
Mhm.
or a druid. Yes, with more nature spells similar to the one of the elf, like Thornwood. Which one is it is sleep Thornwood, and the one that is being cut
Oh, the
from
turn it the wolf.
the transforming a wolf. Okay,
Moontime. Yeah.
Moontime,
Yeah.
something similar. Okay, and
That's
also
good.
or another completely another not an expansion of the same school of magic, but another school of magic that is related. Could be like earthquakes or the lightning storm, some control of the weather, because anyway it's part um, of the lore of HeroQuest, the weather mage. No,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's kind of a good guy version of that storm.
Yep, of the bad guy, exactly.
Mhm.
But they're all druidic spells in the old lore of Warhammer.
Ah, yes, it's keeping the kind of tribute to Warhammer
Yeah,
intact. Yeah, that those
yeah,
are
because
all
in
those
the
are
in the
all
old
cool
in the
ideas.
school of Warhammer, you have two different schools anyway for the druids. Okay, you have the Jade, particularly is the life magic,
Hmm.
and there's the Ember, that is beast magic. So that they're beasts and nature, two different schools.
Yeah, yeah, and well,
So
and this idea would allow them to introduce new content and yet preserve what you originally got, which is the cards, which
yes,
you already have
it's
in.
all pure speculative in a way.
Yeah, it's completely speculative. Yeah, but against the Ogre Horde, and then if you have the miniature here, then you've got that as well. Yeah, could be, could be. But yeah, the idea that they would just leave one thing on the cutting room floor, it's just like, darn, no, just release it all.
Yes. So fewer miniature. I'm just finishing the list of the stuff inside
Oh
the
yeah.
box. Fewer miniature because the box is going to contain the dragon. It's going to take more time, more space.
Yeah.
Maybe the Goblin Warlock that we already see in Jungle. I don't know, because you need it for the in the but you also have the natural goblin. They could use you could use it as a special goblin for the same purpose.
Yeah.
And then yes, as one of each miniature as possible, and the possibility I don't. It's very weird because I'm torn there, but possibility to see the four alternative gender heroes,
Hmm.
and a letter from Joe with a picture of him flexing plus his autograph
You see this, Dungeon
to
Master?
complete the.
Thumbs up. All
Oh,
right.
I'm sure of that
My
of the
favorite
letter
fan, Johnny
from
Cage.
Joe.
Yep. With the
Yeah.
holding the sword.
Or an old postcard from Joe
Yep.
sent from somewhere inside the crypt.
Yep. So yeah, shout out to all our friends here on YouTube with all their stuff. Let's see Christabel's video. Now, again, I'm not trying to steal any of these guys' thunder. I mean, definitely check these guys out. Um, watch it in its original context. Hopefully, you understand the language, or at least you can get the translation like I'm doing here. Oh, yeah. Yep. His Bazargan's on the show, which is great. Talking about it. Yeah, going back to the talisman idea where it's like it just folds and it folds some more, it folds some more. And just like in First Light, they fit it all in there. They didn't have to cut anything. I mean, it was a little thinner, yes, but it's not impossible. I love his avatar. You got the Chaos Warrior. Of course, now I can't see all the text. Yeah, they're just talking about it, speculating. Yeah, until they actually show us, we don't know. All right, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we know at this time. You guys have anything else to contribute? Any other thoughts?
For now, it's all speculations.
What we love to do. So yeah, you can always join at
Yeah,
the HeroQuest fans Discord, add to the speculation, and I'm sure as soon as some news comes out, it'll be updated. I forgot to check in the last couple hours if the companion app has been updated or if there's been any more PDFs posted on Hasbro Consumer Care, but that's like all we're waiting for is just something, anything in the world of HeroQuest to happen. And until there's a big convention, maybe not. But I'm sure somebody will let us know. Somebody will post it. They'll cross post it. People are pretty good about spreading the news around, and once that happens, everybody comments on it. I mean, I don't blame the other guys for not doing, an entire show on just, basically one picture and one paragraph of info. But I had to talk about it. I had to cover it because, of course, I go on
it was
vacation
pretty.
and then it happens.
It was pretty underwhelming. But yes,
Yeah.
it's possible that they're going to show it in the UK Expo because
That'd be
we're
great.
close at the end of the month, right? No, the next month. Wait.
Yeah, we're just barely into April, and so it's like at the end of May.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the end of May. So
So
a month and some,
mhm.
no, a month and a half. It's 8th of February. Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that first quest though. If they just show the first quest where you're in the tavern, it's like, I mean, it's a cheesy beginning, but it's kind of got, I don't know, some like comic book flair. It feels like the kind of quest you would have made when you were a kid. You're just like, man, there's no tavern here. Let's put a tavern. Let's put a treasure map. Let's put a dragon. Yes, let's do that. But yeah, it would be interesting to see ways that he might jazz it up, things he might add to it.
Imagine if they really put the alternate gender heroes, and but they give stats for them as mercenaries, like
Mm.
newbies characters
Like if you're gonna
to add in the
use,
quest.
you could have like, yeah, a mercenary sorceress that joins your party or something, or helps you out in some
Yeah,
area. Maybe they're
a
sitting around the,
mercenary barbarian.
yeah,
They're in the tavern. You can
Barbara.
choose one.
Yep, yep. Or maybe there's, yeah, they're sitting around in the tavern and you can, yeah, hire them. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they can fit them in the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like they're in the midst of the brawl and you can only help one person and then they'll join you.
Yeah.
The other one's all get, hit with chairs and yeah, that's it. Yeah, there could be all kinds of things. Or maybe it'll just be, like kind of what some of us were thinking at the start is just he'll just go through, just correct some of the typos and tighten it up a little bit here and there. Um, yeah, you've got fancy components and otherwise that's it. Or there could be more. I mean, I hope there's more. I hope there's more stuff added. At the same time, I can sort of see that, just keep it the same, keep it as much as it was before to give people that sense that, yeah, nothing has been lost. They're getting everything that they had before. But they could still add things. They could still add things on top, rather than cutting things out. All right. Well, I think any closing comments from the audience before we close out the Rantcast? Wardicon here. All right. Well, I guess we'll just keep the speculation train going until the next. We got a whole month to think about it. But yeah, if anybody sees Joe Manganiello's social media, if he posts anything, let us know what he's going to release. And I mean, it's only been 3 days, so um, maybe he'll wait like a couple more weeks before posting something. Kind of spread it out if there's something happening at the next big show. But yeah, we haven't heard about Wizards of Morcar. And yet, still, if anybody is doubtful, again, I would just reiterate once we see it in the store listing, to me, that is definitive. Like, it's going to happen. No question about it. I mean, unless Hasbro goes bankrupt or lays off all of the staff, something drastic happens, it's going to roll forward. They wouldn't send that information to the store just for them to be humiliated and say, "Oh, it's not really coming out." I mean, I can imagine that if, maybe it was a small indie developer and things fell through and wasn't going to happen like we think has happened with, unfortunately, the Dwarven Forge project that Stephen Baker was working on, where Heroes Dare. It sounds like that's not going to happen now. We don't know the exact reasons why, but I mean, that's one thing. This with Hasbro, I mean, no. This is not a crowd fund, so there's no reason for those stores to lie. And so I think Wizards of Morcar is definitely coming out, and it makes logical sense too, because it's like the last big box that people want from the vintage era to come out. So I think it's just a matter of time. And the fact that they would put it on those sites already, like alongside Crypto Perpetual Darkness, says to me it's either coming out at the end of this year or like early next year. So I'm looking for that tease or that announcement somewhere at some point. They're going to say, "Oh yes," but the advertisement for Bologna was big HeroQuest news, right? Big HeroQuest announcement, and this was the big announcement. So now we know what that was. All right. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thanks for joining us on the RantCast. And hopefully next time we'll have Strange Bus back, and so we can talk about other developments in the world of pop culture and gaming. And we'll go ahead and put our screen back up, play us out with our music, and see who we can raid. Oh, and an announcement just to let you know, this Saturday stream unfortunately is canceled. I will be out of town again on a family outing. But Friday, we should still be able to do our usual HeroQuest fans stream on Twitch for Against the Ogre Horde. It's just that Saturday, Jungles of Delthrak, not happening on the 12th. So, but we will return the following week. And we'll just keep everybody posted because stuff keeps coming up. And if I have to cancel a stream or two, I'll definitely update the schedule so nobody's left hanging. But it's been a busy month. And I got lots of painting to do before Gen Con. So, all right. And we'll get our music back. Again, kudos to Strange Bus, who designed these using Suno.com's AI. And he did write the lyrics for the song.